And his team say he will be subjected to intense scrutiny during the 15 hustings left to go. But his lead has taken a knock after he refused to answer questions about his personal life. A re-energised Mr Hunt knows this and is doing everything he can to boost his own chances. Will it be enough? Kate McCann, Sky News.
Well, he's re-energised and ready to go with us in around 5 minutes' time. We'll be speaking to Mr Hunt. Get in touch if there's any questions that you would like to put to the man who wants to be your next Prime Minister. No Boris Johnson this morning on Sunrise, not today anyway, but we will be hearing from Team Boris in the form of the former Cabinet Minister, Priti Patel. She's going to be here at around 8:30, so she can tell us what she thinks about Mr Hunt's accusation that Boris Johnson is a coward. That is all on the way. But first, here on Sky News, all this week, we're going to have a series of special reports for you, examining climate-related issues and potential solutions. And kicking us off is Neil, who's live at the National Grid this morning, which all looks very complicated and fancy behind you, Neil. So talk to us, just don't touch anything.
Yeah, certainly I've already been warned to keep my hands very firmly in my pockets when I'm wandering around here. I mean, you know me, Sarah Jane, I love a little bit of a secret squirrel outside broadcast, and this is one of those. Although I can tell you what actually happens here, I can't tell you where it is, for very obvious reasons. In essence, the people in this room, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, ensure that every time you go to plug in the kettle or switch on Sunrise, the power is there when you need it. They do that through a variety of ways, but at the same time, if we just have a quick look over my shoulder at the moment, looking at the mix of sources for the electricity, gas, overwhelmingly the largest there, 56% produced through gas. But actually, if you look down in terms of renewables, wind providing 15%. In fact, we're told by people who work here that over the course of this year, this may well be the first time, they're certainly predicting it will be the first time that we get more of our electricity from zero carbon sources than from fossil. So we are making progress. At the same time, there are issues. As you say, we're looking at climate change in the round. And the government's advisor on climate change has made it pretty clear that if we want to fulfil the Prime Minister's ambition of getting to the point at which we are not contributing, net not contributing in terms of carbon, we're going to have to do more. And in fact, actually, if you look at the Sky data poll that we've conducted, well, people are pretty sceptical about the action that we're going to have to take. Just over a half agreeing that we need to fly less, a little more than a third prepared to cut back on the meat. As you say, all this week we will be conducting a series of special reports. First up, here's our science correspondent, Thomas Moore.
With all the greenhouse gas we produce in a year, it's building up in the atmosphere. Levels haven't been this high for more than 3 million years. And in just over 15 years, we'll have emitted enough to take global warming to 1.5 degrees, the threshold beyond which scientists warn there'll be severe climate change. Every year, the problem gets harder and more expensive to fix.
It's a massive concern, really, because we've just not seen changes like this since humans have been around. We've evolved, and what's around us has evolved slowly with the atmosphere changing, and now it's changing so fast. We're not adapted to this.
The Prime Minister has committed to eliminating almost all greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, but the government is already missing its existing far less ambitious targets. And its own advisors, which track progress, have told Sky News that reaching zero is a distant prospect.
I am concerned. Some of the things that needs to be done to get to net zero are, incredibly ambitious. And we need to do something in every sector of the economy in unison, actually, in the way that we haven't achieved so far with